Hey, this is Matt with Let's Talk Music, and I am here with Noni, the lead singer of the band Esperfall, joining us from Hungary today. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, the new song, really just kind of, it was brutal, and I loved it. And it was like I got to talk to these people. So that it's called the album is called Act One: Origins of Darkness. And tell me a little about the newest single.
Well, our newest single, Nature of Disease, well, is the most aggressive track on our album. And it kind of, we wanted to picture and vocalize the inner struggle of a person who has this fight with an illness, physical or mental illness, and starts to realize that the illness is taking control over her or him.
Hmm.
But our protagonists, you, she or he wants to fight, won't take this. Yeah, this is a song of a fighter, a true fighter in the middle of the greatest pain of his or her life, and that's why it's so angry, so desperate, so fearful, but feral and brave at the same time. That's yeah, it's kind of um, walking in glass and pretty much on the brink of insanity.
Uh, yeah, it is very aggressive, and I think that's what I liked about it. And your um your combination of vocals is awesome, but the growl is just you do not you see this little pretty lady on the screen, and then you hear this
Yeah.
and you don't expect that. How do you do that?
Well, like all of us vocalists do. Yeah, it can be surprising when a 5 feet tall tiny girl. Yeah, this is not what you expect. You expect something Billie Eilish-ish, fragile, beautiful something. And she comes and growls into your face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Surprise.
Did you have to have vocal training for that?
I'm classically trained. And at some point, I realized I was so afraid to try harsh vocals or extreme vocals. But when I tried, I was so surprised that false chord screaming, it's so close to singing operas. The
Oh,
feeling is so close to that. It was kind of instantly comfortable. And I said, okay, we have something to work with. Let's do this. And it turned out great. I really love to do it.
so you have classical operatic training, and then you just went with the growl, and it felt the same. Is it the kind of the same use of the vocal cords?
Kind of, yeah. Of course, there are modifications. You use your voice box, those cartridges, a bit differently, but the main feeling it's the same. It's so comfortable, like Netflix with hot chocolate comfortable, and I fell in love with the technique.
Well, that's awesome. And your bandmates, they're definitely kicking ass on the instruments. You got the keyboards going, you got the double bass on the drums, guitars just crunching. It's a very well put together song, and it
Yeah,
just um
they're
so
all powerhouses.
yeah. And that's something that you want on an album,
Yes,
is to be
exactly.
like, hey, we don't have one good song, our whole album's great. So previous albums, were they lighter than this, or is this your heaviest one yet?
This is our first full-length album. Yeah, the previous recordings were much lighter.
Okay.
Metal present, of course, but it was uh, more symphonic metally, nightwishy. well, people would say more girly, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. We are getting darker. Expect more darkness.
Expect more darkness. So
Heavier, darker.
that must be why we're calling this one Volume One.
Correct?
I said that must be why you're calling this album Volume One.
Yeah, Act One. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so
There will be Act Two and Act Three. So.
oh, nice. So what's the I mean, you're the first band that I've done from Hungary, and I
Oh
just
wow, it's
yeah,
an honor.
what's the metal scene like over there? I mean, are you guys is there a lot of people doing the same thing, or are you kind of, set yourselves apart from other bands?
Well, metal music in Hungary is definitely not mainstream, so we are the underground here. And although we are friends with the other bands, of course, metal scene here is still a bit fragmented. So I couldn't tell you two bands who are doing the same thing. We are all different.
Wow.
We are all different. Yeah, it's a colorful scene.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I've done well, I mean, I did one yesterday from Germany and one from the Netherlands, and it's really cool to be able to experience all this different music from all around the world. Before I started doing these interviews and stuff, I was kind of closed off. I mean, I'm used to Western metal, from the United States, maybe Canada, maybe South America, but never really touched anything in Europe. And you know, all of a sudden, I did a couple of interviews for a record label over there called Noble Demon in Germany, and my phone exploded with publicists from Europe. And it's been awesome. I mean, it opens your ears and your eyes to a lot of music, a lot of culture, a lot of powerful lyrics that has to do with, like you said, mental health or disease, or the way that people are being treated, or land being taken, however you want to explain it. It's really been, you know eye opening, and I think that's what's great about it is, all of you over there or get in Europe are getting your feelings and your music out there, and that's why I'm trying to do what I'm doing, is so that people over here can experience it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, music in Europe in my opinion, is really honest and raw. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like no filter. There's no filter.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and it's and like you're having an explosion of female fronted bands over there.
Sorry. See better.
Oh, okay, yeah, a lot lighter, but yeah, I mean, as I was saying, you're having an explosion of female fronted bands over there, and that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, we don't have. I can think of maybe five bands off the top of my head in the U.S. that are female fronted. Most,
Wow.
especially with most of the growling. Now it's getting bigger. I mean, you got Arch Enemy and um, Ginger and bands like that, but it's most of the female fronted bands in the U.S. You're thinking of, like, Evanescence or something like that. And when you're getting into the heavy hard metal,
Mhm.
you guys are definitely leading the way over there in Europe.
Yeah, that's so cool. Here, you no longer hear the question, um, like, how does it feel to be a girl in a metal band? No, they don't ask you this question anymore because more and more bands are popping up with female lead, and then that's awesome. And to be honest, there's no difference. It feels like being a human being working with other human beings. So
Right.
nothing special.
Yeah, I mean, it just, if you go back to like the roots of new metal or death metal, there was no females. So that's why I'm saying it's really cool that it's happening now,
That's
and
why was I so desperate as a teenager. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be Chester Bennington or Henry Rollins. And I looked around and no girls were doing this. Oh my God, what should I do now?
Wow, Henry Rollins, haven't heard that name in a long time.
Oh, I you don't want this interview to be 4 hours long. So let's move on because I love him a bit too much.
Yeah, I he's a very diverse guy though. I've seen it. I like his acting. Excuse me. I like his acting and his music. So Black Flag, the Henry Rollins band. So, but yeah, I mean, so you're saying as a teenager, those were two of your influences. What is it that really got you into music when you was a little girl?
Oh wow, I was really, really lucky because my older siblings are way older than I am. So from day zero, as a baby, I was hearing music all the time. In every room in our house, there was a TV, and there was always MTV on,
Love
all
it.
the radio, in every single room, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, everywhere. So my first childhood memories are actually flashes from music videos.
Okay.
One memory, the one specific memory I can remember is the music video of Rocket from Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
And years later, I realized, oh, was that this video clip I saw? I remember this. I love this so much. Yeah, and I started to play it on the guitar. Yeah, yeah. This is so cool. Smashing Pumpkins is a really, really big influence. Um, yeah, hand rolling. Yes, yes, Black Flag. Billy Idol. I love him so much, so
Billy Idol.
much.
Yep.
I think this is not what you expected.
Well, I mean, honestly, it sounds like we're somewhere in the same age range because that's what the stuff I grew up on. I remember actually seeing MTV the day it premiered. Back in
Wow.
1982. I was what, 5, and the first song ever was the Buggles' "Video Killed the Radio Star," which was so
Wow.
which was so ironic, because they're making a video and singing about this, and it was,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, MTV was a huge part.
that's epic. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a huge part of my life, and that's why I'm kind of like disappointed that it's all reality shows now. I really kind of, as it started to fade away, it was like losing a part of me. Um, I'm a,
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, and today it feels like music videos are losing their relevance, but I hope not.
well, I mean, and I've discussed this with other artists. I mean, back in the MTV days, you or your record label or whoever was spending, upwards of 100,000 plus to make a video, and now you can do it for, 1,000 or $2,000, and somebody that that's good at editing.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the YouTube platform and Venmo or Vivo and all those, I mean, they're great for artists to be able to make their videos and um, get it out there and get the exposure they need. And same with all the major, social platforms. So, I mean, you do have a lot of help now that you didn't have back in the day. But
yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you right now that I'm not gonna wait up until 11 o'clock to watch a YouTube video that somebody's just now releasing. I'll catch it the next day. But when it was MTV, I was waiting up until 11 o'clock to watch Headbangers Ball.
Yeah.
I was popping my VHS tape in and recording videos, and it's I'm a
Oh,
very
the magic of waiting for hours for one music video.
oh yeah, I remember
Put
when
your finger
Metallica.
on the record button, like now, it's the next one. The next one. No, it's not. And then finally, you got it. Yeah, that
Yep,
was magic back then.
I think I remember when Metallica released the video for One, and it was
Oh
also
my.
like the Unforgiven. They were both like the videos like half hour long, you know.
Yes.
Then they cut it down after that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a very nostalgic person. I mean, I miss cassette tapes. I miss, MTV. I miss my hair metal. I was a teenager in the 90s, and you got these guys out there looking like girls, but were just killing it. And it was all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And it was a great time to grow up in. And now we have a different genre of music that the younger generations feeling the same way we did, and someday they're going to feel like, man, I missed when that was around. But
Yeah,
it's an ever-changing business. And I mean, I feel like the good thing today about it is that there's more room for DIY bands, you know
yes,
and it gives you guys a chance to get your everything out there. And even with the small independent labels, you know before you just had your big ones, Elektra and Sony and stuff like that. And now there's so many labels that are popping up that are helping these bands get heard, and that's great.
yeah. You don't have to uh, rely on the industry so much.
Right.
You
And
don't have to know someone who knows someone to get by.
so for the nature of the disease, I mean, how about that video? How long did that take you guys to put together?
Um, the video shooting was like 4 hours, not that long.
Yeah.
We just had to we just had to go for it, go crazy, especially me. Yeah,
See, and that's what I'm saying. And, it took you 4 hours. You ask somebody that made a video back in the day on MTV, oh man, that took us like 4 months.
yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, did you guys enjoy making the video?
yeah. I did. I definitely did. I collected so many bruises, but I did. It was fantastic. I
Yeah,
just had to be thorough. Yeah.
I think that's all part of it, is getting to, um, you enjoy what you do. And, they say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So
Yes, that's true.
you're definitely lucky for that. So what's after this one? What are we talking? How long before the next single?
I can't tell you exactly, but we will shoot another video uh, for another track from this album, Origins in Darkness, but I can't tell you yet which one.
Okay, I get that a lot. I actually,
I
the
can imagine. Yeah.
I sometimes I get some sneak peeks. This band from India called Denver just sent me a sneak peek of their new release that's coming out in April, video. And he's like, do not share this. I'm like, I'm not sharing it, dude. I watched it, liked it. Then the band that I did from the Netherlands last night, she sent me their new single. So it's nice. I feel like I'm part of the community, part of the industry, even though I'm not. So
Imposter syndrome.
yeah. I mean,
Are. Come on, why not? You are part of it.
well, yeah. I mean, but it's just, I guess you start out small and then you get bigger and bigger, and it takes so much time. I'm like, I should have done this when I was younger, but when I was younger, didn't have this opportunity. We'd be talking on a long distance phone call that my mom would be choking me for, because it was like, $100 phone call.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
um, Esperfall, what does that name mean?
When we were talking about names, possible names for the band, we really wanted something original. And while we were brainstorming, our drummer was playing a video game called Final Fantasy, and I was talking about extrasensory perception (ESP), and then I realized that actually in the game there are those godlike creatures, espers, um, and after you defeat them, they serve you. So they protect you, uh, provide this godlike power to you.
Uh-huh.
After they fall, and we were like, that sounds kind of cool. Espers who fall, Esperfall, okay. So yeah, it's based on the game Final Fantasy.
That's really cool. I mean, most of the time it's like, we just thought of it, you know. So I do, I like that explanation. I mean, it's a lady that I talked to, the one was in Germany the other day. She said, after I get done with the interview, I'm gonna go play PlayStation. So apparently, PlayStation is a good inspiration for music and names.
Absolutely, yes. Games, books, films, anything is a good inspiration. Anything can inspire you. Anything and anyone.
So how did you and your bandmates meet?
Um, ooh, that was such a long time ago. I auditioned for their previous band. Our drummer and our keyboard player was in that band,
Hmm.
and I auditioned as a vocalist. And after that band split up, we formed Esperfall.
Okay.
When was it? 8 years ago?
So it was like 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw that in your press release. So, are you guys with an independent label right now? Are you just still DIY?
No, we are at a label, Age Music Hungary.
Okay. So, how's the label life?
I almost said not what we expected, but little did we know. We didn't know anything about it. We didn't know what to expect. So everything is new at this point. Obviously, as times as time goes by, I don't know. We'll figure things out slowly. Yeah, yeah. At this point, we're good.
Well,
We're
that's
rolling.
I mean, see, it's same what I was just talking about. You start out small and it takes time to work your way up, but now, you're working with a label, you got a publicist, um, you know, big things happening for Esperfall.
Well, we put the work in it, so
Oh, I'm sure.
you still have to work. You still have to work.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm sitting here, on a Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon talking to you, because you have to put the work in. I've done, I did a live, I went to a concert Friday, did two live interviews there, photography, Saturday, got up, did two European interviews, doing one a day. I've got like two or three lined up tomorrow. So it's work, but it's for me, it's enjoyable. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel alive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to listen to all these different songs that get sent to me, and I'm like, holy cow, that's freaking awesome. Or wow, that's interesting. I definitely want to talk to them, because I mean, I've had some strange things come across, and I'm like, that's interesting art, but it's art.
Yeah, yeah,
And you can't really, even if you don't like it, you can't put people down for their way of expressing themselves. Everybody's different. And that's like we was talking yesterday. I mean, music is so diverse, and it has so many ways that it can make you feel. It's like, and everything's different. Like everybody's interpretation of a song is different. Like you might write it down and this is what you mean. Somebody else might think it means something else. And it's like looking at a painting. The person that painted that could say, well, this is what this is supposed to be, and you're like, well, man, I was thinking it was something else. And it
yes. This is why I'm never ever specific in any of my lyrics. Maybe I have my own traumas, my own problems, my own pain, but I never say it out loud. I never give the exact reason why I'm feeling this, so people can connect to the presence of the pain, the presence of those bad feelings. And I know, sadly, they can connect to that with
yes.
their own experiences, through their own experiences.
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, so everybody experiences, pain and loss, and but I mean, hell, there's songs that, are happy songs too, so and every once in a while, I think we need that. It's the band Bring Me the Horizon.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they have that song Happy Song, and like I don't know how many times I've listened to that on my way to work. Like, okay, I'm getting myself pumped up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, happy songs. For me, happy metal is baby metal. Ultimate happy metal.
Yeah. So, what about touring? Are you guys getting out on the road at all yet?
Our last concert was in January, end of January. We are taking a break now, and we're focusing on the second album.
Oh, okay.
Songs are in the making.
So, yeah, a lot of writing, a lot of creating, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, it I don't know. Are you guys more of a like a studio band or a live band? I mean, do you prefer to be out on the stage just rocking, or I mean, how does that work for you?
Being in a studio is kind of a meditative thing for me. Being on stage, that's yeah, I can be all over the place. That's huge. We love to be on stage. Yeah, yeah.
So, we,
We're all powerhouse type of people. So yeah.
that's your happy place.
Yes, yes, yes.
I feel you. I love concerts. I mean, my wife, I try to get her to go, and she's like, I don't do concerts. I'm like, okay, whatever, bye. I'm going. So,
Yeah, yeah. I can
and
totally understand. The energy is so wow beyond everything on a live show.
right, and it's the same. I mean, it's the same with being in the crowd. We feed off of the energy that you present, just like you feed off the energy that we put forth. And being able to do these interviews, it's really just so cool because you get to do, you're backstage, and I mean, I walked across the stage, what was it, probably about a year ago, that really gave me goosebumps because I'd been to that venue so many times and had never seen anything backstage. And they brought me in through the stage door. I got to walk across the back of the stage up to the green room, and I was like, this is freaking cool because there's so much history there.
Yes, and in these occasions you feel like a kid again.
Oh yes, yes.
That's an amazing feeling. Yes.
And that's why I've told musicians on other interviews is there's very few things in this world that I can think of that give me goosebumps, and music does it quite often.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it is, it just it's a charge. I mean, you can always listen to something that makes you feel some type of way. If you're angry, you can listen to a song that brings back a good memory and you can be happy. If you're happy and you want to be pissed off, you can listen to, whatever. It is so great. And I mean, I couldn't imagine, a world without it. It would be, I mean, I guess if you never heard it or had it, you wouldn't know what you're missing, but I would definitely know what I'm missing. I love music so much. And I thank you guys for creating. I mean, you don't
thank you for listening. Thank you.
I mean, you don't understand what it means to people. Well, I'm sure you do, but I mean, some people feel differently, and I mean, to me, it's just you know when I heard Nature of the Disease, I was just like, wow. It was
Wow.
it
And
was
now I am wow.
it was powerful. I mean, that's what I like, and I don't care if it's, regular singing, opera singing, what kind of singing it is. It all comes together with the music. I mean, and you guys for that song with the melodies, the beats, the keyboards, everything fits so well. And I mean, that's, thumbs up to you. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Oh yeah.
And I'm looking forward to editing this video and putting it up on YouTube and getting you guys out there on my channel because I mean you deserve it. It's like
Thank
I like I said, everybody deserves to be heard. Whether it's your cup of tea or not, everybody deserves to be heard. And you guys put your blood, sweat, and tears and lots of bruises in the video to
yeah,
into this,
definitely.
and you know that's what that. what makes it great is it's like any other, profession. You do it to perfection, or you do it to your best of your ability, and you're rewarded for it. So,
Thank you.
okay, well, we are just about out of time. I really appreciate you joining me. I'm gonna look forward to the next single. Gonna look forward to, Act Two, and we'll just, you know, I'll get a hold of your publicist, and we'll check in on you, maybe in a couple months, see how things are going.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks
All
for
right. Well, you have a good evening.
good evening to you too.
Bye.